But let's move into the next topic, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And sticking with the Trade-a-Palooza episode, we are going to be talking about, can the Cavs find a trade partner for Kevin Love? We're kind of making this one up that there are trade rumors for Kevin Love. But if we're looking into it, Kevin Love right now, 31 years old, just recently signed an extension. This is the first year that it will kick in. He is getting paid $120 million in the next 4 years, 28.9, 3.2, 31.2, and then 28.9. So a weird start at 28, then go to 31, and then a little dip. It's not really backloaded or front-loaded.
It's mid-loaded.
It's mid-loaded. So he got a mid-loaded contract, Kevin Love. And the idea is he's a veteran, 31 years old. He's not really in a position to win at this point. Mm-hmm. And he's also not a star, but he could possibly help out a team to win a championship. And the Cavs aren't in this position to win a championship. They are one of the expected worst teams in the league coming up this year. They're dealing with a lot of rookies. So the question now becomes, can they find a trade partner for Kevin Love? Because sitting at this contract and his injury history and also his ability to help a team, but also he wasn't really seen as a massive success for that Cavs team. They were able to win, but it was mostly due to LeBron James turning it on and Kyrie's massive shot. We'll say Kevin Love did shut down Steph Curry in the last possession, but overall, Kevin Love was never a solid thing when LeBron was there. So we have to ask the question, can they find a trade partner for Kevin Love if they want to make him available?
Absolutely.
I don't know who's going to... Like, the whole thing is... Like, there are teams that I could see wanting to trade for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
It's just the part that is fuzzy for me is Cleveland going to get a package that they're happy with? Or is it going to turn down to something where it's like, well, we got to trade for this because we can't, like, when we get to the end of his contract, not now, but will it turn into, well, we're going to trade him for this years later because we're just going to trade him for something rather than letting him walk for free.
I mean, I think he still has some value. I think somebody will be able to find, that nice sweet spot for him because, like, look, when he's healthy, he's a 4 who can shoot really well from the outside. And it basically a stretch 4 with his ability to rebound. I think that there's definitely value out there for teams who are looking to, go from we're close to a playoff contender to we want to see if we can hold our own in the first round. I don't know if there's any of those teams who have the firepower to take, like, we're definitely a playoff team going for a championship. Like, the Houston Rockets, I know, was, like, the big rumor out there to float it out and, like, we're going to empty the cupboards to Kevin Love here, whether it's a deal with PJ or, no, it was Clint Capella and Eric Gordon and another bench piece, I think, to try to get Kevin Love in there. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it trust me, it's weird.
That's a bad trade. Why would you give up Capella? I don't care if Capella got ran off the floor last year defensively.
That's exactly what it's playoffs. That's the only concern.
It's going to happen to Kevin Love too. You don't think Kevin Love's going to get run off the floor defensively?
At the 4? Nah. Who's attacking you at the 4 in the West right now? Paul Millsap?
LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
LeBron James is a 1.
You could also put him at the 4. If they put Rondo out there and move LeBron to the 4 and 80 to the 5.
I mean, I put PJ Tucker on 80. That's solves that problem.
Okay, that's fine. But
yeah,
LeBron versus Kevin Love
still has to guard someone. He's not, the worst athlete in the world, but
he's a good athlete.
Yeah,
slim down.
He has had to slim down. Fat Kevin Love will never rise again. I was hoping for some Fat Kevin Love numbers last year. Yeah, didn't quite happen.
I mean, he was fine last year in the 22 games he played. Put up 17 points. He wasn't efficient. 38.5% from the field.
Yeah,
36% from 3, which is above average.
Right.
And a little bit below his career average, 37, but still around that range. 90% from the line, which was good to see. Yeah. 10 boards, 2.2 assists. That's near the highest of his career, at least highest in his Cleveland career. And then 0.3 steals and 0.2 blocks. So, I mean, K-Love, the biggest thing is injuries. And you look at the last 3 years, 2013, 2014 played 77 games. 2014, 2015 played 75 games. 2015, 2016 played 77 games. And then the past 3 years, it's fallen off. 60 games, 59 games, 22 games, played a total of 141 games, and that's out of a possible 246 games. And that's not including the playoff games that he did miss and did play in.
Yeah.
But at least in the regular season, he's barely gotten over half. Half games played.
It ain't good.
So that's the reason why I don't think they can find a trade partner for him, at least right now. I don't think Kevin Love's getting dealt unless we see a phenomenal first half of the season from Kevin Love. We need to see him healthy out there. We need to see him very agile. We need to see him playing nearly 30 minutes a game. And we need to see good K-Love numbers. I mean, I'm not saying, 54.7, 37.6, 26 points, and 22.5 or 12.5 boards. I'm not saying his Minnesota season.
Fat K-Love numbers.
Yeah, his 25-year season. I'm not talking that type of season. But we need to see something where he is putting up 17 points a game and over 10 boards a game, and then also being efficient from the field, over 40% shooting for sure, and then nearer that 37% that he's always been at. I think we need to see that type of season from K-Love. I think we need to see him bounce back, because right now I don't think he has Clint Capella trade value. And I think that's why he hasn't been moved.
Wow.
If they offered him Clint Capella and Eric Gordon, right, they would have taken that deal. Why wouldn't have? They've been got out of the Gordon contract by now, and Clint Capella, while he would be there longer, is still a very solid big and can help you run pick and roll and teach these young guys like Garland and Sexton how to play and how to run a pick and roll and get them some body work.
Finally going to move on from TT?
Yeah, well, that, and they could also actually give him a body to build around and a body to work around.
Yeah.
Because right now, Clint Capella's a phenomenal pick and roll setter. He's a phenomenal roller.
He is.
So you're getting them, two undersized guards, some help size-wise to get around and make it more difficult for guys to guard them. I think they would have absolutely taken that deal. He's bigger than K-Love. He's more fluid than K-Love. He's more usable than K-Love. I would have taken Capella and Gordon for K-Love.
I think K-Love brings you playoff value. Like, that's where he's better than...
But why do the Cavs need that?
They don't.
So that's why they would have taken Clint Capella and Eric Gordon.
So you're paying double center money? Well, I mean, at this point, you're in salary cap whatever mode, so you don't care. Yeah. No, I think that's a deal that it could be a win-win. I'm just tossed out there. I know there's been rumors about it, and I know why it didn't go down, but I still think that's a deal that as the season goes on, you might see churn back up again and see, like, how much can we get away with for Kevin Love?
Mm-hmm.
And my thing, too, is Tristan Thompson's done after this year.
Oh, he is
contract-wise.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, you don't have to worry about that, and Capella's got 3 more years after this.
Yep.
So I think that would make sense for them. What were you saying, Rick?
The thing that I think comes into it is, like, are the Cavs going to get the same type of haul that we were talking about for Bradley Beal? God, no. They're not going to get, like, numerous picks or numerous players.
No,
for me, it's about finding the right situation. And, like, one that I came across, this one was from, I think it was factoryofsadness.com, which is the fan-sided Cleveland site.
Couldn't tell.
They came across a Boston-Cleveland trade that I find interesting because it helps both teams in certain situations where Cleveland would get Gordon Hayward and the Memphis pick this upcoming year in 2020. So you get a first-rounder and Gordon Hayward. The Celtics...
Protected first.
Protected. The Celtics would get K-Love and then Cedi Osman. So
giving up 2 starters.
Well, what?
To make the contracts work.
I don't know if they give up Cedi.
The thing that I feel like this could be a starting point is because if I'm Cleveland, yes, it's protected, but I'm getting a first-round pick, and Gordon Hayward's contract is up before K-Love's contract is up, which allows me to maybe go after free agents sooner than I would if I had K-Love. And also from a Celtics standpoint, right now they are running Kemba at the 1, Brown at the 2, Hayward at the 3, this is off of ESPN, then JT at the 4. Well, if you move Hayward to Cleveland, you can move JT back to the 3, put K-Love at the 4, and have a front court of K-Love and Cantor.
And you could always flip it.
And then they could actually rebound.
Yeah, if Celtics are actually going to be upset that you're putting Gordon Hayward at the 3, you could flip it. No one will give a shit. No one will notice.
The point is he's going to Cleveland anyways. In the trade, that is.
Again, if that was offered, and you're not saying it was, but if that was offered, why wouldn't the Cavs take it?
Cavs would. I think they would.
I'm like, if it wasn't already offered, why wouldn't they take it? That's a deal that I would take easily. I mean, getting rid of Cedi would be painful.
Yep.
I
but you're
like
hoping
that
to
part.
get like a pick 6 through 10 from that Grizzly team or unprotected in the future.
Exactly. That's the key right there. If you're asking me would I trade Cedi Osman for that pick?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I would easily do Gordon Hayward for Kevin Love. You get out of that contract sooner. Gordon Hayward might not like Cleveland and then decline that player option. You're done with $32 million this year. That's insane. And then that allows you to take on bad contracts and picks, which allows you to rebuild this team and keep up that rebuild going. And it makes it easier to keep it going. I mean, look at what the Nets did. The Nets took on a bad contract in Timothy Mozgov and got D'Angelo Russell out of it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can do that type of thing where teams are desperate. Yeah. Teams will always be desperate. So, absolutely, I'd take that deal. And the thing, too, is if Gordon Hayward finds his groove back, he gets trade value. And he has more trade value than Kevin Love. Because he plays a better position for wings. He does have injury concerns, but that was more of a freak injury concern rather than what K. Love has been dealing with, consistent nagging injuries. And he's younger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if that was
too sweet of a deal.
If that was an offered deal, Cleveland would have taken it. Mm-hmm. That's a phenomenal deal on Cleveland's end. And that's why I don't think they can try to find a trade partner, because no one knows. We don't know. The media doesn't know. Whoever's writing these articles does not know what Kevin Love's actual trade value is. And I don't know if he can find that just because of his injuries. Mm-hmm. So in the grand scheme of things, I think Cleveland fans are going to be upset with what they get for Kevin Love, because it will not be enough in their minds, because we think of Kevin Love as this all-star. We think of Kevin Love as this stretch four who can knock down a hell of a ton of shots and could be a guy who gets 20 and 10 a night. And he can be that guy when healthy. And that is the biggest fucking asterisk for me. When healthy.
Yep. What's the best ability?
You're trading for You're trading for damaged goods. You're trading for a guy who has not been out there. I love Kevin Love. I hope all-star Kevin Love comes back one year. But he, for 4 years, $120 million, is, in my mind, a bad deal. And I don't think you can find a trade value partner or a trade partner that will match up to people's trade value of Kevin Love.
What about a team like the Spurs? There's a team who Pop ain't going out like a loser. He 21 straight years of playoffs.
Say what you mean, Dave. Pop ain't going out like a bitch.
Yep. 21 straight years of playoff appearances. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Mm-hmm. It's fucking insane. Mm-hmm. I can't see a way that he wouldn't take a look at Kevin Love, because you're already running, LaMarcus Aldridge between the 4 and the 5, because Jakob Poeltl isn't the true 5 out there. You're already stretching DeRozan down to the 3 basically to make way so you can play DeJounte, Derek White, Lonnie Walker, Patty Mills, Bryn Forbes, Marco Bellinelli. Like, they have so much front court depth, and they've got a lot of depth as well in other positions. I mean, that's a team with young talent. You've just picked up Keldon Johnson and Luka this year. I think that they could move some younger pieces around, maybe a Damari Carroll, maybe a Trey Lyles. If you have to move that guy, Rudy Gay, not going to get a button press. Okay. I was hoping for the...
I was going to say, don't forget my trade from last week.
Pause.
I was hoping for a...
Pause.
Fucking Rudy Gay, man. Shit.
Thank you. They've got a wealth of those kind of mid-tier guys. They've got a bunch of young talent there, and they've got future picks. That's a team that could make a deal, because you could run out a fantastic starting lineup with DeJounte, DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, and whoever they end up keeping, and that team's going to compete in the West. Like, too damn bad to the loaded West. You're the Spurs. You're going to win fucking games. That's what they do. That's all they ever do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the Spurs, though, because the whole idea and the whole upside of Kevin Love is the ability to shoot threes.
Yep.
And this is a team that doesn't take threes. They're very good at it.
They like players who shoot really well from 3, and they're the only ones allowed to shoot from 3. Nobody else gets to shoot threes. So you need that spot shoot. Bertrand's got taken away from you.
Yeah. What's the proposed deal? Is there one out there?
I'm legit making it up. Ricky's going to have to do some digging on this one.
Sure. I threw out my Colin Sexton one last week.
We're not splitting up Sexland.
The thing with that is
would DeMar be in the deal?
You might have to.
Okay.
I mean, you got to make contracts work. I wouldn't be opposed to that, because you have so many great guards. I mean, we talked about it with John last week. The idea of Quindary Weatherspoon playing very well and playing himself into this roster in the upcoming years. You have Patty Mills, who's going to be there for a little bit, and he's if not put in that deal because he's worth $12.4 million. He could be a guy definitely. But you have DeJounte Murray, who was a former all defensive NBA player, and if he is healthy, he's obviously going to take more steps in the right
His
direction.
offensive game was starting to look like it was going to be coming around.
Yeah, Derek White's offensive game did come around. He was fantastic last year. Marco Bellinelli is there for one more year, but he's still a good veteran piece. He's probably gone after this year, but he's still a decent guy right now. Bryn Forbes is a phenomenal outside shooter. He's a guy that's definitely in their plans. Lonnie Walker was a first-round pick last year. He's definitely valuable to this team. Kelton Johnson, a first-round pick as well. So I think the guys that could be moved in a deal for Kevin Love would be probably
A couple of those younger pieces for sure.
I'd say Luka, and I'd honestly try to do a DeMar DeRozan and Luka flip for K Love, because that way
With no picks, just the players.
Well, no, because I mean, who would be giving up the picks?
Well, I'm saying
No, that's the thing is like
the Spurs would be the ones. If
your
picks are going, it'd go from the Spurs. That trade would work. It just couldn't happen until after July 31st.
I think the thing that I think the Spurs would have to the Cavs would have to do it because the Cavs are giving up the deal of 4 years, 120, where the Cavs would be able to get out of that DeRozan contract most likely next year because DeRozan's on a player op.
Yeah, he don't want to stay there.
He don't want to stay there.
I don't know how, depending on how well he plays, if he can actually earn more than that. This was one of his not great performance years. From
It's $27 million, and if he's going to the Cavs, he's gonna get the ball.
Yeah.
So,
but they got 2 point guards already.
But he can teach them how to be a point guard. I mean, you're teaching them how to actually play next to a real point guard. He did it in Toronto. So you're at least bringing a lot of veteran guard help to them, which could be a benefit. And the biggest benefit is that you're getting rid of $27 million. And then you get a player in Luka who they took in the first round. So they might not want to move off of him, right? They took him in the first. I'm not daydreaming that. They took him right after Goga, I think. They took Luka in the first, which they might want to not move away from. But I definitely think that could be a possibility for that. Maybe they move Pirtle and give him a center. But because if you're getting Pirtle, you'd move Aldridge to the 5 and Caleb to the 4. I think that could be a definitely possibility. But I think
the Spurs have enough, those pieces they could attach along to DeMar, or in place of, they've got enough mid-range contracts. They've got options.
And the thing, too, if I'm the Cavs, I'd take a later first. I'd take like a 2023 first because there's no guarantee that Aldridge is a free agent in 2021. And he's not going to be there. K-Love might be there if I'm doing my math correctly, but if so, he's going to be older, and we don't know if he's going to be healthy.
Right.
And there's no future for sure star in this team.
Right.
Lonnie Walker has
You're betting
massively
on
high
Lonnie
potential.
and DeJounte.
Yeah,
and Derek White to continue.
And Spurs fans were like, DeJounte Murray's an all-NBA player if he was healthy. No, he's not. He does not have the offensive game. He's definitely all defensive player, but he's not an offensive monster to be.
That's funny because in college he was a much better offensive player than defensive player. But
he was Markelle Fultz before Fultz. He's actually good at basketball, though.
Oh, shit.
I think the Spurs could definitely be a team that would be interested. Are the Spurs a team to trade, though?
Everybody else is going wing heavy, and the Spurs are like,
Big
counter
guys.
that shit. We're running bigs.
Big guys.
The only other two that I have either seen in articles or I could see making a possible move. The one that I've seen, and this was
Bulls.
many of these were 4 weeks ago, where it was before the Hassan Whiteside thing went down, where it was Portland. They could make a move for K Love, but after bringing in Whiteside,
He still could. He's a 5.
I mean,
And you still need a 4 because Nurkic is there. Nurkic is
Zach
injured, but
Collins.
he's
but
he's
when
a 5.
Nurkic comes back, what
That's
do you do?
true.
That's the whole thing. What do you do when he comes back?
You trade Hassan Whiteside for Kevin Love.
I thought about it, but I don't know if Cleveland would do that.
He's
a contract win.
Exactly. Whiteside's off the books after this year, so
The
that's why
one
they would.
I'm going to throw out there, and I don't know if I would do it because
Sean.
I still have faith in this player. I don't even know if you would include a pick from the team, the West Coast team.
Piqued my interest.
The Nuggets get
No.
K Love
No.
for Millsap and Michael Porter.
What? What is you with Cleveland trades? Did you propose that?
That's one that I'm just
Who proposed that?
Here's the thing. This is a me thing.
Okay.
And here's the deep. No. Hear me out.
I'm
It's not-
listening. I just have my head down in
It's
shame.
not the.
I'm shaking my damn head.
The Michael Porter part is not like a linchpin. If you are Denver,
Are you really using that word correctly?
yeah, he's not the one where if you pull it out, the whole trade falls.
Right.
To me, it's Paul Millsap because if I'm Cleveland, give me the guy who's done at the end of the year, and you get that cap release. if you're the Nuggets, though, and you're going to try to make that trade to get K-Love instead of Millsap, who would you try to give up to sweeten the deal for Cleveland?
Yeah.
Because a Love Millsap trade wouldn't go. And Michael Porter Jr., is he going to fit the timeline of the Nuggets? And this way you compare K-Love and Jokic's contracts up together.
I understand what you're saying. And I'm sorry I had that reaction because
it's just a team you adore.
I also
it's like when you said the Bulls, I just ignored it.
No. I also said Lucas Samanic for the Spurs, who was a first-round pick as well. People could criticize me for being a hypocrite, being like, well, Luka and Michael Porter Jr. both went in the teens. They both could provide value. Here's where they're wrong. Lucas Samanic went 19 in a very, very weak draft. Michael Porter Jr. would have been a top 5 pick if he was healthy in that draft. And that wasn't just a draft.
Yeah.
That is the best draft I've ever seen in my life. That draft already has 2 superstars and it's been a year. So you can't just give up on Michael Porter Jr. And I'm not saying you are saying they're giving up on him. They're trying to add a piece. But I think they are in such a great spot with Paul Millsap being up because then you're going to have the ability to go out and get more free agents that are going to fit this timeline. Denver is getting a gift that Paul Millsap's up after this year. He's valuable right now still. He'll be valuable this year, but he'll also give you so much cap relief next year that it's insane. And going out and getting K-Love and locking yourself up would be so dumb. And I think Cleveland would need to be the team giving up something there instead of Denver giving up something because Denver's doing them a favor by taking that K-Love trade. And I was going to jokingly say, I'm legally obligated to bring up Denver in a trade talk, but I don't see a deal being made that would benefit them. Because, yes, I think he fits their idea of having Jokic be there and having players on the outside. And K-Love can pass, too, which would move the ball around. But the idea of trading a possible superstar and a guy that Denver absolutely loves in Michael Porter Jr. for Kevin Love, who's not even a guarantee to be healthy, is extremely worrying. And people are already typing, you're saying that Michael Porter Jr. is a guarantee to stay healthy? No. But I'd rather take my shot at the cheap, inexpensive, younger talent in Michael Porter Jr. than the older, more expensive, possibly rotting out version of Kevin Love. I love the guy. I love Kevin Love. And I know I'm using harsh words and rotting, but the guy's he only played 22 games last year. And I don't have faith that he's going to be healthy. So, no, I would not do Michael Porter Jr. in that deal. Absolutely not.
How about we go back to where it all started?
Ooh.
Andrew Wiggins.
Yes.
Kevin Love.
Yes. Yes.
Does this solve all of the problems for the Wolves? No.
Where's Anthony Bennett? Trade Anthony Bennett to the Timberwolves.
Anthony Bennett,
Send
I
him back.
believe, is still playing in Europe?
No, Rockets. He just signed a 10-year,
Oh, you're right.
10-day deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
it's
something like
a
that.
10-year. I was like,
10-day
oh, my
deal.
God.
It wasn't a
hockey
10-day
deal.
deal, but I think it was a non-guaranteed.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He did sign a deal with them. I forgot. I read that a couple days ago on Reddit. But yeah, Wiggins, Kevin Love, do it over, bring him back. It's a win-win deal. I mean, you think about it. You solve one problem in the fact that Kevin Love's contract is it's not great. It's not great, but at least he contributes at a fairly efficient rate when healthy. And imagine how much better offensively he'll look playing next to Karl Anthony Towns, Robert Covington, and Jeff Teague. But I mean, it solves their spacing issues. It gives them someone who can actually rebound well next to Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, yeah, they're still allergic to playing inside defense, but you might as well shoot lights out if you're going to go all in like this.
Yeah.
And they've got a bunch of young pieces they could move around if they have to. Like, I don't know who has to give up what. Like, what else the Timberwolves have to throw into this deal. And I know that sounds salty because, like, Wiggins is the younger player who has, upside. But Kevin Love actually, like, can win you games. Andrew Wiggins can't unless you're against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is we're gonna need to get Tyus Jones back.
Oh.
Or what was it? No. Okay. So we have to. Actually, Chetty's there.
Yeah.
So Chetty was selected by the T-Wolves, but then traded to Cleveland, I believe. I'm trying to figure out where this Cleveland pick went. It apparently went to the Sixers, but it isn't demarked here where they picked. So we either have to get Ja back and get him in this deal, but it was K-Love to Cleveland. The Timberwolves got Andrew Wiggins Anthony Bennett. So obviously we know where Wiggins is. Wiggins is already in T-Land, Minnesota. We got to get Anthony Bennett back from the Rockets. Thad Young, unfortunately, is going to Minnesota in this deal.
Okay.
But he has to get traded back to Philadelphia before. And then the Sixers need to assign Luke Mamute.
Yeah. Well, he's available.
And he's available.
He didn't play all last year, basically.
And Alexei Shved, who's currently in Russia, needs to be signed by Minnesota.
Okay.
And then the 2015 first round pick from Cleveland, we need to find that.
We lost it, and we cannot find it.
Because that was also in the deal. But it needs to be the 21st pick, not the player that they actually picked.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. We can make that deal happen.
I think
Just bring it back. Roll it back. Run it back,
Run
baby.
it back.
Run it back. Yeah. Shout out Thad Young. I don't know. If Minnesota gets a more usable player, in Kevin Love, yes, they're not going to sign anybody, right? So they're not using that contract for anything. They just don't have Andrew Wiggins, which is good.
Yeah.
What does Wiggins bring to that team though in the Cavs?
Hope. There's hope that he will get better. He's still young.
They're both on 4-year deals.
Isn't he like 24?
Yeah.
25? He's
no,
old now.
he's not 25.
He might be.
No, he's got to be like 23, 24.
He's 24.
There you go.
He's going to turn 25 in February.
All right, so it wasn't that
at
off.
the end of the season.
It wasn't that off.
Basically the end
By
of the
the
season.
trade deadline. If he's traded on February 14th, it's 9 days till his birthday, brother.
Still 24.
I don't know. I just don't see how it works out for the Cavs. Like, I mean, you take anything. No, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, think about it. Like, they get to play with more upside. They're not worried about contracts anytime soon.
But why did we go from Wiggins being... Are we just putting Wiggins anywhere now?
Yeah.
In any trade deal? Because we were like, you get Westbrook for him. Westbrook's much better than Kevin Love. So how have we gone from Wiggins to Westbrook to Kevin Love?
It was picks attached to that Westbrook deal. Like, you had to give up several first-round picks to get Westbrook. You don't have to do that with Kevin Love. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's several. I think you're good pretty much Wiggins and Love almost straight up.
Because you don't have to do anybody a favor contract-wise.
Yeah, no.
It's just the youth. But you're really trading more for fit at that point because Minnesota, you're trying to go for a playoff run.
Absolutely.
Where
you got one of the most efficient offensive big men in the NBA ever.
Yeah, Wiggins gets a fresh start.
And Wiggins gets all those damn touches.
Yeah.
Those dirty, inefficient touches.
All of these just make me think.
Try to say it that way.
All of these to just wrap up this segment. All of these teams getting thrown out there just make me think. No.
So Love's just gonna chill out the rest of his career in Cleveland.
I think so. I think he's a casualty.
At least this year.
He's making $120 million. Sorry, buddy.
I still don't understand why they gave him that contract. Why did they give him that deal?
To be
I don't
nice.
blame him for taking it. Why did they give it to him?
No, because they had to sign him to offer to strengthen their deal for LeBron.
To keep LeBron?
Yeah, so I think
Was that the
I thought they had
timeline?
to extend him to be like, see, we'll have Kevin here for a long time.
I swear that was after. For
Kevin
some
will
reason.
be your boy. No, I think it happened the same year. I think he signed that deal like right when I think it was the same offseason. So they needed to sign that for him to even stay, or for LeBron to even stay, or at least that was their thought. I could find it because I was just on.
I just want to find like the timeline of that because for some reason I felt like it like happened after.
No,
for like no good reason.
It might have it kicked in this year, so that might be what you're thinking of. It's somewhere on the. No, it's not. Okay,
July 24th, 2018.
Yeah, so that was after.
See,
they agreed to it then.
That was Woj's tweet.
Oof.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was
it's a bad deal.
after.
The last thing I am gonna say is
because you guys did a segment on that and I wasn't here because I took a vacation after free agency.
That was
Fuck.
I think Pat was on that one, wasn't he?
Might have been.
I think Pat was on that one.
I was in
because he
Nashville.
bashed it.
The answer is clear. Cleveland is building a future on Kevin Love as its centerpiece.
So I'm gonna end on this one, and usually I don't like to throw other guys that we don't know under the bus.
Yeah.
But Tony Pesta of hoopshabit.com.
I'm sorry, what? His name is Tony
Pesta.
Pesta.
P-E-S.
Like pesto sauce.
P-E-S-T-A.
Let's hear this guy. Pesto.
Caleb to the Warriors
Oh, God.
for D'Lo.
Oh, God.
high. Don't do that deal for the Warriors.
Here's what he wrote in the article.
What? What'd you write, pesto sauce?
Though a deal can't be completed until December 15th,
No, it can't be.
trade rumors have already begun for D'Lo. One potential trade that satisfies both parties is a straight-up deal for Kevin Love. In this exchange, the Warriors get a star forward that can shoot from deep at an efficient rate. Love fits much better with this lineup, giving the Dubs the ability to play small ball with Draymond Green or Love with Draymond or Love at the center. Furthermore, the Warriors gain a player with championship experience to help them compete immediately rather than in the future. Here's my thing, though, and my little thing, and usually I am all for ridiculous trades. How does this help you re-sign Draymond, though? Because you're going to take on $28 million and then have to re-sign Draymond?
I mean, he's still
like
under bird rights.
But you'll go into the luxury tax where it's like...
I don't care about that.
To
They're making
me,
hella money out of their stadium.
This is like a poor man's attempt to roll it back because there was that Kevin Love for Klay Thompson rumor a couple years back, if you guys remember, prior to championships.
Yeah.
When it was like, look, that deal was on the table, and everybody's like, oh, that could work out really well for the Warriors. And they're like, no, I think we're gonna keep Klay Thompson on this team. I think we're good with that.
My boy Pasta Sauce, he didn't really miss any marks because what he said is true.
I just don't see it happening.
Is Kevin Love a forward?
Yes.
Has he been a all-star before?
Yep.
Yes. Is he efficient at three? Yes, we laid that out, 37%. That's above the average. Can he shoot from three? Yes, he takes 4.4 a game. That's
pretty good for a 4.
That is shooting from three. Yep. And I don't like throwing people under the bus either, besides you, because you're an idiot.
Yeah. You just know me in person, too.
Yeah. I mean, you could punch me in the face if you want to, but we're best friends off camera.
Yep.
Sorry, Dave. You had to figure out this way. But the idea of a team that just ended their dynasty because of what?
Injury.
Because of injuries. Them trading that piece for a guy who we just talked about for 30 minutes.
Dynasty's not over, by the way. It's just taking a pause.
Yeah, being injured to add that is so short-sighted it is not even funny. Because the second you make that deal, the second you move away from any other future championships after this year, because then you're worried about, well, what if Steph goes down? Oh, well, then it's a Klay Draymond team. Then yikes, that's not going to do well. Oh, Kevin Love's down. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's a Klay and Draymond team already. Oh, wait, Klay's still recovering from his ACL tear? Fuck
it's
me.
Draymond.
It's Draymond only.
Also, how many
that
point
could
guards,
happen and probably will happen.
How many point guards did Cleveland have then? 3. They'd have Sexton, Garland, and D'Lo running the point.
Hey.
It's one's all-star.
You're not going to, what's the fucking win guards you take? Take as many shots, baby.
Yeah.
You know? You miss 100% of the shots, you don't take them. So take 3. Yeah. Jesus. That's, shut up. We should have him on the podcast.
Tony Pesta.
Yeah, have him on the podcast. We should have you and him just throw out trade talks, trade rumors the whole time. Let us know if Kevin Love the Cavs will find a trade partner for Kevin Love. Maybe I'll find the ability to speak as well in transition from the next topic to this. But let us know down in the comments if you think the Cavs will find a trade partner for Kevin Love and what will they have to give up? Because maybe you could throw out some teams, but what would the trade look like? Because that's the hardest thing that I have to find. But let us know what you have down in the comments below.